How do you go from not having glass to having glass in your summer house? A very middle class. Roll that graphic. Hi, I'm Paul. This is Science That Sticks, and today I'm going to go through how to put glass panes into a window in a summer house. Now, when this arrived, it arrived as off the back of a flatbed lorry, and it was all in panels. The door and the windows, or the windows there, or the window, was actually in 3 separate pieces. It took me quite a while to get it together. It's still not a perfect fit, but it's good enough. And so one of the things that I had to learn to do is I had to learn how to put these glass panes in the frame there. And of course, never having done this before, I thought to myself, well, this is a teaching moment for myself, but it's also one that's probably going to happen for a lot of people. So how do you do it? The first thing that you are given is you're given panes of glass and you're given this beading. One of the sets of beading is small, they go along the bottom, and the other bit is a bit longer, so it goes along the top. So when you've done it, you've got the nice bevel on it, so it looks nice and neat. And these get nailed into the side of it. Now, I shall show you how to do that in just a moment. A couple of things that you will also need to do this. The first of which, obviously, is some tools. But there's some unlikely tools that you're going to need as well. A bit of cardboard. Because holding a very small nail in place is very difficult. But if you pierce it through here, you can actually hold the nail still without actually hurting your fingers. Although this is limited. You're also going to need a little bit of MDF or something hard so that you can actually put against the glass while you tap that way into the frame. I've used some MDF, which was hanging around the place. Then you're going to need some tools. You will make a mistake. We all do, and I made a mistake yesterday, and that ended up with me using some creative language, as my English colleagues would call it, swearing for the rest of us. You're going to need a chisel. You're going to need a flat-ended screwdriver, because at some point, if you do make a mistake, first of all, it's going to be costly because you'll break a pane. I did do that. And that means you'll have to take the frame out that you've done. So you'll need one of these. You can ease your way in and pick out that pretty easily. You're going to need a pair of pliers. And lastly, you're going to need the right hammer. Now, I'm a big believer that if something's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. This is overkill. This will break stuff. So in this instance, overkill's not the thing you need. This is. It's a framing hammer, modeling hammer. This is just an ordinary lump hammer. Well, it's not even a lump hammer. It's just a regular household hammer. Good for hammering nails into fences, gate posts, building big stuff. Like the rest of the structure is fine, although that was screw-based. This is what we're going to use today. So that being the case, how do we do it? Let's roll. Okay, so experience of doing the doors has taught me a couple of things. The first of which is make sure that the glass pane fits in the hole, and do that with all of them. I've done that, I've checked. There's only one where I've got a little bit of work to do, and that's because there's a little bit of wood just standing a bit true in one corner, so I use my chisel, very gently scrape that little bit of wood out. The next thing that I would do is I'd use the beading and check that you can just put it in dry. When I mean dry, I obviously don't mean you're going to use water. What I mean by this is that you can actually attach this without putting nails in. And you're using basic shapes. So make sure that you've got the little 45-degree angles in the bottom left and in the top left just here. You probably can't see that very well. So let's show you what I mean. So you can actually now see that what I've done is I've put this up here. It won't hold it, but it'll hold it enough so that the glass pane's in place. What I then do is I use some of the nails. Now at this point, I'm only going to use 2 nails. And I'm going to show you what I mean with the little cardboard, wherever I put it. Here it is. So you just pierce the end of the cardboard like so. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to place that just into the middle there. I think I've got too big a bit of cardboard here, so let's make it a little bit more user-friendly. Just here, I'm going to put just a little bit of pressure there, and I'm going to tap it in a little bit. Now, once it's in, I could then use my MDF and I could give it a bit of welly. That pulls away, that's now in. And I could do the same at the top. Now, sadly, doing this is a bit laborious. So I tended to actually use my fingers because I actually got into the habit of using my fingers and it was a little easier for me. The other thing that you should do, and I think is good practice, is as much as you can, because it's very soft wood, see if you can just push it in a little bit like a drawing pin. You just need it in enough so that you can put your little thing and voila. Now, the ability to shield the glass is really crucial because once you've shielded the glass, it's all good. Now that's in, it's not going to come out very easily. It will come out if you force it. Make sure also, I've forgotten to mention this, that you've actually got a little bit of cover on the floor. I've put a little bit of the soft thing on the floor just in case one of these glass panes falls out. And if it does fall out, then I'm good. It won't smash because I've already broken one and I don't want to break any more. So the next bit are the longer dowlings. So one here. Now some of them you can force in. So it's a bit tight, but that's gone in. This one too. Now this is that business I was talking about where you've got a little bit that's too much. So I'm just going to shave some of that off and then I'll be right back. So I've sawn some off. Et voila. Now, just for the sake of completion, I'm going to show you how I use my fingers with this. It takes a bit of skill, takes a bit of effort. I found that the ones on the right are actually harder to put in. So once again, really push it in as much as you can with your thumb. Gives you a bit of a start. That's pretty poor, that is. Looks like I'm back to using this. Oh well. So I've done the tops and bottoms, but I've had an unexpected boon. Two things. The first of which is the good people of Shire actually gave me one too many glass panes. This glass pane was actually going to be, I wasn't expecting it. So the one that I'd broken, I was going to leave this as the broken one and have it just as a little bit of wood and quite comically call it identifying as a window, but I don't need to do that. The other good thing is that whilst I was using this, I noticed that if I folded it again and again, I could pretty much push an awful lot of the nails through the top parts, which made things easier. If I could do that with the top ones, that means I can do it with the right hand ones as well. So that'll make things much easier. So let's see what it looks like at the end. Another time lapse is coming your way. Let's go. Last one. There it is. It's all done. Every frame. Now to paint it purple so that it matches everything else. That's it. A couple of other things. When you go in on the left hand side, it's easier to use your fingers. When you're going on the right hand side, it's easier to use the cardboard. Just practice, be careful, don't force the nail in. Until next time, as always, stay cool. Bye for now.